Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, I want to go discuss up some potential Sony PS5 updates, some next major updates, and some actual updates I've actually had developers go to reach out to me and talk about, and also with some potential things for us to be on the lookout for in the future. Some of this will also go pertain down to the PS5 controller too as well, some VR stuff, and a lot of really cool stuff, and even some actual copyright filings that people like Sony have already actually filed in the first place. So a lot of really cool things to go and talk about, showcase, and discuss, and hope you guys like these types of videos. I made a previous PS5 update video maybe about a week ago or so. I think a lot of you guys did enjoy it. That was more on the firmware. This is also more so for future actual features that Sony's on the lookout for and wants to be making in general. So if you guys will enjoy, I usually do a lot of like the PS5 restock videos on this channel to kind of be on top of that stuff, but I've also really been enjoying doing all the Sony news and keeping you guys updated as all of you guys have slowly been getting your consoles as well. So hope you guys have been enjoying that. If you guys want to go and subscribe, we are giving away a PS5 which will be ending pretty soon, so make sure you guys are subscribed for that. That's all you guys have to do, go and be entered on in, put on the notifications if you guys like these types of videos or Sony videos or still need to go get your PlayStation 5. Leave a like if you guys enjoy. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream link down below if you guys would like to go and follow. We always have the Amazon link down below too as well if you guys want to check and see if there's any PS5s in stock, whether it's cancellations from the earlier drop or anything else like warehouse stuff. And also the Weeble, sign up for Weeble, deposit $100 with your account. You guys go get free stocks. And of course, also Coinbase, you guys buy $100 worth of any cryptocurrency. You guys go and get free Bitcoin. Always linked down below. Hopefully, you guys never mind YouTubers that do that. Whenever you go and ask for it, people go and do it. It's like the same when you go beg for likes. They're like, okay, fine. Or beg for subs. Okay, fine. So I always hate doing that myself. I hope you guys don't mind. So as I mentioned, we have probably three major topics I want to go discuss for this video itself. Number one is going to be coming into more so upgrades for the actual controller. Some different things are going to be want to be working on in and focuses that Sony actually has for controller updates, which is actually really cool because I'm sure a lot of you guys know about the Sony controller and all the actual adaptive feedbacks they have going on. As I mentioned, we have some developers also talking about that. Also some PSVR news as well, and also just overall some general patent news I get to go and show you guys. I find this stuff always interesting, so if you guys enjoy it. So number one, I kind of want to go and touch on something on over here, which we actually even saw to kind of go and support my case. We'll showcase it up on this as I'm kind of casually talking, is that Sony, even as of recently, made another trailer video for next-gen local multiplayer games. With the PS5 controllers, you guys can kind of see all the stuff going on with the actual sports and all of this. And this pertains a lot to what we're going to be talking about throughout this video. So kind of pay attention that they're actually promoting this, promoting multiple like local multiplayer, as well as just more multiplayer games in general, especially with the controllers in general. So you guys are seeing how they're kind of focusing on some of this stuff over here. So that's going to be one major thing I want to go take a note on. You guys can literally feel the tackle. You guys can literally feel the track. So if you're on like a cart, think like you're playing Mario Kart. I know that's like a Nintendo game, but just for example, like you're playing a racing game, you physically feel your like the thing bumping. You feel everything kind of moving from the actual controller. Or you guys can even kind of notice it too as well whenever you're playing games like say shooter games right there, where you can literally have the tension and it makes it harder to go pull down the actual adaptive trigger. Same with Call of Duties and all of this. So you guys are kind of seeing how they're promoting this out for multiplayer stuff as well. So I kind of like, I more so want to showcase this to kind of show that like Sony is actually talking about what we're going to talk about, and also that they're trying to go push the idea of side-by-side gameplay that you guys all feel the same exact things. So very, very cool that they're actually promoting this, especially now because I'm someone who loves multiplayer games. Like when it comes to actually like, you know, sitting next to each other, etc. Now we are in a pandemic, so I get that. But if you guys want to leave a comment down below if that's a genre you guys really like, feel free to, because I know for me personally, I loved back in the day when I was younger. I'd have my friends come on over, lay on the couch, we play some games, play some multiplayer games, play some Smash, whatever it is, and we just had a fun time. And I feel like that's like the one genre that's been very slacking as of recent. Multiplayer games are fun, don't get me wrong, but there's always something special about ordering a pizza, getting some food, and playing some actual local sit-down co-op games. So the reason why we kind of showed you guys up that trailer is when it comes to Sony's next-gen tech and what they're trying to go and push. So for me, I'm a Twitch streamer. I've been a Twitch streamer for like 7 years. You guys want to follow down below, you guys can. We've also been slowly doing this YouTube stuff. But because of that, I've had a chance to go and speak out to many different developers, and I keep in contact with many of them as well. Some of them are also even personal friends. And we've actually been hearing even now that Sony wants to be pushing more updates in terms of the actual PS5 controller itself. If you guys don't know, I know a lot of you guys are still on the lookout for the PS5. The PS5 has some very, very intriguing actual features mixed in with the controller. More so with the actual adaptive controllers I'm sure you guys have seen, where basically as you're playing a game, like let's say you're hanging on a cliff, you basically have to go and push down really hard on the back end controller because there's actual tension being built up in the actual controller. Same with actually playing shooting games, etc. Sometimes they actually go and actually do that. It has just like a vibration mixed in with the controller or other things mixed on in. Even the controller actually has a proper actual fan built on into the actual controller itself. So you guys can kind of see how I even showcase up in the video. We're going to have things like it's like rumbling because you're driving a car through dirt, or maybe you get tackled and you have like a weird controller freak out, stuff like that. So what we've actually heard in terms of actual developers working on these games is that Sony actually wants to continually be pushing more actual updates for the actual internal controller, which is kind of a given, but more so hearing it from actual developers is a little bit of an extra bump of like, oh, they're investing really hardcore in this actual technology. A few features they also want to go and kind of note is they have, or more so I want to know for this video, is they've actually apparently either been offering or want to be offering grants in terms of actual development grants for game companies and game studios like indie developers and major more so AAA games if they're underneath the Sony actual function to go and actually promote and develop more features for the actual PS5 adaptive controller, which that in turn also leads into even more features being developed and more different options for the user controller. As you guys have maybe even seen from stuff like Astro's Playroom, there's even things such as like actual breath function where basically you can go like into your actual controller and if somehow actually go blow air into your game. Now with Corona, it's a little bit weird. I kind of weird calling that one, but you can. Or other features as well if you guys ever saw, if you guys played games like Astro's Playroom, there's a lot of potential built on it with the controller. So that's a major update that I think a lot of Sony fans are kind of excited for, and I do want to go and reiterate that actual developers who have worked with Sony have either reached out to me or have also seen a few little bits and pieces of this floating around. I'm sure there's going to be probably even more bigger updates when there's actual controller updates or more so updates in general in terms of technology with certain AAA games. We'll probably see a lot of this when it comes to Horizon, God of War, etc. When those games come out, we'll probably even see even more specifically made for the PS5 controller updates. So it's kind of like, I guess, the initial part on this, but we also have a few other things I want to show you guys up over here as well. And these are some of the actual patents that Sony themselves have been trying to go push in general. So I want to showcase up some of the pictures and kind of potential future updates going on over here. This is basically, as I mentioned, just kind of patents. If you guys don't know what a patent is, basically it's just like whenever you come up with technology or an idea, you want to have the copyright on it so other people can't copy or steal your idea. Think like Microsoft wants to go and patent something, or Sony wants to patent something just so they don't go and use the same stuff. So some things we've actually seen on more updated controller layouts, which these are not 100% confirmed in terms of updates, but we've actually been seeing some of the firmware mixed on, not firmware, when it comes to the actual outside of the controller itself, which we even saw a few very intriguing things. If you guys look in this picture, I know it's a bit of a weirder picture. It looks like a ceiling's dropping a pine cone on a controller, but we're actually seeing PlayStation controllers with now even back analog sticks, which you guys look at the current one right now, there's nothing on it, you know, these types of things, which are actually going in the back end of the actual controller itself. So we're seeing little small baby updates also mixed down in with even like paddling and such, kind of like the design and layout for all this stuff, that Sony's trying to go and patent and go and copyright. Very intriguing stuff when it comes to the controller, and once again, it's kind of showcasing why I mentioned that trailer at the start, where they're trying to go push a lot of more so multiplayer games, which I think also a lot of people are trying to go and push the idea, and I've seen rumors on this, which I would think would be very cool if it happens, is that Sony wants people in the same room to feel the same exact thing. And I've also even been hearing rumors mixed down with saying watching movies or watching shows, where if something happens in the show, if you guys are hearing your controller itself, you could actually get actual feedback. Or same thing with multiplayer games, think like Until Dawn, where if you guys are watching a multiple kind of cutscene S-type movie game, or think like Detroit, that everyone playing can collectively play and feel the game, do quick time events, all etc. Feel the rumbles, feel the vibrations on the controller, which that alone, especially with couch co-op games that they were trying to promote, would be very, very, very cool and very fun, especially because it kind of gives you guys more of an incentive for player 2 or other people in the room playing multiple player games. As well, that also leads into other future local couch co-op games that could be story games. If you guys think like the Two Brothers game, where like it's like a split screen game, the entire game, where you're playing on those same two sides, and you have to escape prison, or the other game that same guy is making as like a couple game as well, that's on the same screen going at the same time, or even games like Overcooked that we even saw up in the actual trailer itself, in case you guys just want the idea of what I was talking about. It was like, think right through here, or even stuff like this. You guys can even see like some of these racing games like this, racing split screen games, or as I mentioned, like I said, Overcooked, which is just a game like this. So then imagine the technology would be like you have this entire stage rumbling, so everyone playing the game would have their controller start shaking. And this is kind of what I'm kind of pushing, that what Sony wants to make up at their next major updates. And well, one other major thing I do want to also make note on too as well, because a lot of people are curious on it, is Sony also has produced a new PSVR figures as well, which people are kind of making fun of because it kind of looks like a banana, but they've actually tried to patent some other different types of things for the PSVR. We also have some other photos too as well mixed on in, which we can kind of touch on really quick, because I love sharing and showcasing this new Sony stuff for you guys, because it just leads into so much new potential for new games coming on out. So basically, Sony's idea was trying to get a very desirable, inexpensive, simple, and non-electronic device as a video game peripheral. And it basically has like just things kind of go and alleviate some of the actual issues that people are maybe seeing for controllers or VR controllers, etc. But basically, they want to go and actually have stuff like this that's just very easy, a very passive object being held on that stuff as well. So just a very nice casual thing to go and hold on, very easy overall. And basically, kind of maybe imagine this for maybe like a Joy-Con, where you can kind of maybe move the controller, have a few triggers on it, you can kind of go from there. So kind of cool. Some people also make note on this is that maybe for like God of War, you can have these two types of controllers and maybe start like throwing it in terms of an axe, or try to go and like do more combat stuff. If you guys ever saw Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, where basically you have the Joy-Con type thing and you basically want to go and slash, and it kind of somewhat controls your hand, that's I think maybe the idea they're trying to go for, whether it's for normal gaming, like a separate controller that's not the PS5 controller, or for something kind of like how it is for VR, to kind of help you control like moving around swords, moving around whatever, picking up stuff, etc. Rowing, whatever game it is, playing golf, you know, any type of variety of game they can work on in, they can somewhat use it with these different types of controllers. And they are even confirming, yes, you actually can go and dual wield them. So once again, it kind of goes into, say, God of War, you have an axe, you actually have another weapon or whatever, you have a hook, you have whatever you need to go use for whatever game you're playing. Uncharted, maybe you have to go and climb and go like this and kind of promote out more activity as you're playing the games. And I think the idea behind this is very, very nifty. Very, very, very cool. Now, of course, these are patents, so they're not 100% confirmed, but in terms of the actual previous updates I was mentioning, I do want to say that's being worked on as of right now internally by developers. So here's more PSVR2 stuff mixed on in, and this is basically kind of what they're trying to go update. We do know that's 100% confirmed when it comes to the actual PSVR2 as well. We've actually seen Sony CEOs mention that they have teased it. We haven't seen official releases on it yet, but here's some good ideas of the next patent levels. So some examples on this is that we actually have more of some like handheld grips. And some of the things we've kind of seen off this stuff, I'll maybe go read through the actual article, is that there's a lot of cool, interesting things mixed on in. Mainly because of this, it kind of almost seems like it might have the technology to go provide up with the haptic feedback and adaptive feedback we have with the controllers to make it so you can feel things in the game, which I think is very cool. So if you guys have ever played VR games, I have a VR headset myself, you have a chance to actually go pick up things in games, but this would allow you to go feel it. So maybe there's like a cat, you can maybe kind of feel the cat shaking or stuff like that. Or maybe have something like really rough or hard, or maybe like you're holding something, it's like hard to go push like, you know, a trigger or something like that, which is very cool. So basically the pair of drawings and the patent shows off the controller from the front and back. The most instantly noticeable change was the giant light up globe on the original PSVR VR is gone, which I'm kind of happy about. It kind of looked kind of lame. Replaced by a small LED panel that can emit lights of a variety of colors. So basically still has the lighting color if you guys are used to that when it comes to the actual stuff. And also the major thing, as I just mentioned, is that there are actually additions to the trigger buttons, like in the PS5 DualSense triggers, that can offer resistance when pressed, with the vibration device to provide accompanying haptic feedback. That isn't terribly surprising, given that Sony has already said its new VR controller would incorporate technology from the PS5 pads. So as I mentioned, maybe it's harder to go pull down the triggers, maybe you have to climb something, maybe you have to grab something, and you have more of an actual real-life feedback to it. However, this controller also sports a thumb sensor and 3 different finger sensors, so finger tracking, somewhat like the Valve Index, may be in play. Sony's patent application suggests that combined with the haptic feedback, this could be used to let players feel the size and texture of virtual objects as they hold them. Now that is next level, and that's what I expect from next-gen gaming. That is so cool to hear. And while the controller specifically detailed in the patent only includes this force feedback on the index finger button, Sony specifies that multiple buttons could be arranged to provide differing levels of feedback for each finger. The described controller also features a flexible loop that goes around the user's hand to secure the controller in place. Like, this is like some of the coolest technology I've ever seen in general. So yeah, here's even stuff where they even have pictures like showing maybe like finger tracking, which might be nice to maybe look at a map if you're in a game. Maybe you have to draw something, maybe you have to go and solve a puzzle, and you can actually use these controllers to go and figure this on out. Like, all these updates seem so cool. There have also been reports of recent Sony patents showing other form factors for VR controllers, although we had trouble locating the other patent source patents. So this is basically the main public one we've seen. And also, it looks like a lot of the features they support, Sony is continuing to explore the idea of finger tracking in VR in a separate patent application filed in 2018 and published just last week. Sony details a few ideas it has for finger-based input. Like I said, this would be really cool for solving puzzles or stuff like that, using maps in games. In one example, the company envisions a painting program where players hold a virtual palette in one hand and use their fingers to dab the color of paint they want and draw marks against the canvas. Each finger could be assigned a different color and be used to erase previous work, or even using stuff for like sculpting, which would be really cool for games like Dreams that are basically big platforms showcasing all of this stuff. So overall, this is a very, very fun video to go talk about. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys made it this far, leave a like, of course. If you guys saw any ads, it'll always go towards my mom. So thank you guys for that. But this is some really cool stuff. So number one, we have more focus on actual PS5 adaptive controller, which is kind of a given, but we do actually have developers supporting this and also potential maybe for Sony grants. We're hearing rumors on that. We're hearing more also stuff on the next gen controllers that they may either want to have a pro controller or ideas for patents. Now, of course, when it comes to patents, these are not always 100% going to happen, but it's always nice to see and see potential ideas they're going for. And more so, the most important thing is the PSVR patents that kind of showcases up the potential of the technology for PSVR2 when that does come on out. So if you guys enjoyed this video, there's a lot of research put into this one, so of course I always just appreciate a like and all of that as well. There's also Mamron over there with the resub. Thank you so much, Mamron, for resubbing in the first place. I'll make sure to link you on this video overall as well. Thank you guys all so much for watching yourselves. If you guys enjoyed, definitely go make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on for the PS5 giveaway. Leave a like on the channel if you guys enjoy it. Make sure you guys check on the Amazon link down below for the PS5 or PS5 restocks, cancellations, or warehouses. We always have the Twitter and Twitch stream link down below if you guys would like to go and follow. And of course, also the Weeble. Sign up for Weeble and deposit $100. You guys go get free stock and free money and Coinbase if you guys buy $100 worth of any cryptocurrency. You guys go and get free Bitcoin. Hope you guys enjoyed all the really cool features we're seeing from Sony. Hope I didn't ramble too much, and hope you guys enjoyed the video itself. Love you guys all so much. I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. And I'll see you guys up tomorrow for some good old restock news. Thank you guys once again for hanging out and chilling on the channel itself.